The haters might call it a clown show or a circus, but Nick Hoffman, one of the premier drivers in the dirt late model world, had nothing but praise for the Gateway Dirt Nationals, even describing it as a crown jewel of dirt late model racing. I wrote this up over at stockcarreport.com. You can find the link in the description below. And Hoffman did an impromptu Q&A on his road trip back to North Kakalaki, that is North Carolina, from St. Louis, Missouri. And he answered a lot of questions, and specifically a number of them about the Gateway Dirt Nationals. First, he was asked by Dirt Late Model Insider, Racing Jason, is Gateway a crown jewel? And Hoffman replied, yes, it absolutely is. Pretty definitive there. But he didn't just say it is a crown jewel. He added this. It's the most watched dirt race in the country. It has the largest attendance of the year. It had all the heavy hitters. And Scott Bloomquist was the first guy to win it. It's a effing crown jewel. So bold words there from Nick Hoffman, which I think puts to rest a lot of the haters who seemingly didn't watch what happened on Saturday night, especially during the feature. Anyways, we also got this. This guy here, John, asks, how fun was the Dome? And Hoffman wrote, I love it. Last night's feature was the most fun I've ever had, finishing 5th. He finished 5th, and he said it was the most fun he's ever had, finishing 5th. And why? Why? So he was asked here, what's your favorite part of the Dome as a fan, spectator, and as a driver? So as a driver, he says this. As a driver, it's so much fun because it's elbows up and aggressive every single lap. So he actually loves the racing as a driver, and that's why he's loving it when he's finishing 5th. Because the racing is excellent. It is some of the best we've seen all year. I think it's top 3. PDC obviously number 1. I think that Flow Racing race at Macon, number 2. Maybe that race at East Bay with Mike Marlar, like literally storming through the field. Finishing, I think he ended up finishing 2nd or 3rd. Obviously that Farmer City race with the World of Outlaws with Bobby Pierce, with that comeback, getting beat at the line by Hoffman. It's definitely top 5 for sure. Because the racing was absolutely excellent. And the drivers love it too. I mean, you can see it. Elbows up, aggressive every single lap. And sometimes they make a little bit of mistakes because every inch matters. Every inch matters. We saw that with Devin Moran. Did a video about that yesterday. Jack Riggs gave him a little bit of a hip check. Devin Moran looked like he tried to maybe get Riggs a little bit back. Ended up over-rotating the car. Hard to tell. But it was great. It's great. And then you have rivalries being created. Bishop going back-to-back. Excellent racing against Gordy Gundaker. Was able to hold off a late charging Bobby Pierce, who unfortunately broke at the end. I think if Bobby Pierce wins that race and passes Shep on the last lap, it's a top 2 race no matter what. I mean, 12-1 would be incredible. 40 laps. I think they need to extend the race. It needs to be 50 laps, in my opinion. It's like one of the big changes I would make. But he also says here, even as a fan, he says, as a fan, it's just always action-packed, and it's not just a race. They do such a great job keeping people entertained. So, obviously, Hoffman had a ton of praise, but he did offer a suggestion for the future. He was asked, should late models go invite only? And if so, what's the cap? How many cars? What's the credentials? And he says, it's getting to that point, 100 cars, 50 per night. As far as the credentials is where it gets tough without having someone investigate every single entry. Obviously, we don't need to investigate someone we all know, but there are so many of them, guys, that could be good or bad. So, offering a little bit of advice on how to improve. We do know that they are changing their super late model registration process beginning in 2025. The website says this: all competitors will now need to enter into a pooling system. After many years of our registration selling out very quickly, this is now the best system to give all competitors a fair chance to race inside the Dome at America's Center. And then they have these terms here. It says, we will release multiple waves of lottery rounds throughout late summer and fall 2025. Once you receive notification that you have been given the opportunity to enter, you will have 72 hours to complete the registration process. Failure to do so will result in your entry possibly being offered to another competitor in the pool. So they are changing that up. I wouldn't be surprised if they move to a invite only in the future, maybe for 2026 and 2027. We know that they have cut a deal with the Dome to race there through at least 2027. I hope they race there for moving forward. Because I agree with Nick Hoffman. This is an absolute gem of a race. It is a crown jewel. I think we get some of the best racing. They are elbows up. You get rivalry. You get the passion. These guys don't want to lose. And sure, there's a little bit of show there. There's a little bit of some of the circus stuff. Saw that running down the straightaway, trying to rip the guy's helmet off. Stevie Shepard getting in a fight with Tyler Carpenter's crew guy. But I think that's also part of it, right? That's part of racing. That's always been part of racing. Man, how did NASCAR start, right? Moonshiners running from the police. So I don't really understand those criticisms because I think that's part of the sport, which they're trying to get rid of it. Just like they're trying to get fighting out of hockey. I don't like it. I think it was better when you had the drivers just go man on man. The issue is you have the crew guys getting involved, and that's where you kind of really need to separate that stuff. Let the drivers deal with it themselves, especially when it's between drivers. But if you watch Tyler Carpenter's interview, I don't think he wanted anything to do with Stevie Shepard. He's like, I'm not a fighting guy. He didn't want anything to do with Stevie Shepard. Anyways, I'm getting a little off topic. But so yeah, we also got this here. Longtime listener, first-time caller. Give us an honest thought on the current state of dirt racing across multiple series. And Hoffman said the sport as a whole is in a good spot. Last night showed that. He points to the Gateway Dirt Nationals feature as to why dirt late model racing is in a good spot. Because it is. If you watch that race, it had some of the best racing all year. All year. I mean, let's look at some of this stuff. I mean, here's the highlight.
Ladies and gentlemen.
From Flow. Let's just skip ahead to any point in this here. I think they're racing for, what are they racing here? Third, fourth, fifth? I mean, you've got like a 6-car race here for like third, fourth, and fifth. I mean, they've got Winger in third, Gundaker's in second. So this is a race for second with 6 cars. Look at this. They're 3 wide. This is great. This is great racing right here. Like multiple grooves. Like you have to be aggressive. I mean, Gordy Gundaker fading a little bit there. But I mean, it's great. This is great racing. I mean, you go back here. There was an excellent race for first between Gundaker and Brandon Shepard. I mean, this was great. Look at this. RTJ stalking them in third, and then they're doubling it up because they're such great racing. Ryan Unsker, Tanner English, Mike Spatola. I mean, Ryan Gustin started ripping the lip until he had an issue. Bobby Pierce is back there. He went from 12th to 2nd before he broke. I mean, look at this right here. I mean, we're 3 wide right there. Hoffman got 2 in one corner. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome racing. That's why we love dirt late model racing. This is some of the best dirt late model racing we've seen all year. It was fantastic stuff. So Nick Hoffman is absolutely right. This is a crown jewel. It is an absolute gem. The racing is fantastic, especially once you get to the feature, because the cream does rise to the top. I would argue that there were probably some guys that probably should have been in there, like we see constantly at the top. Devin Moran, obviously. Tyler Erb didn't make it. Brandon Overton got the provisional, but he didn't qualify. And then you get people that maybe do really well in the Dome because it is kind of an equalizer. You get to see your Tyler Carpenters. You get to see, I mean, Freddie Carpenter was strong all weekend. He just didn't make the feature. So let me know what you guys make of what Nick Hoffman had to say here. Obviously praising the Gateway Dirt Nationals, praising the race of the Dome, and rightfully so, rightfully so. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below.